everybody. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Will.
And this is So I'm Watching Andor, Season 2, Episode 6, What a Festive Evening. Good? No?
Yeah, I mean, it was...
Did you like this less than the one before?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. I was like... so in
yeah,
this
Mon
one.
Mothma was in it.
Well, Mon Mothma was in it, but it was also like... something exciting was happening.
Yeah, I kind of saw the writing on the wall, and the fact that everything was just kind of going how both sides were hoping it would go. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Kind of knew what was going to happen. Also, there was, like, as I was scrolling Google News, because they can't go 20 seconds without putting every spoiler in a headline, I did know, or I assumed that it was Cinta, but it was a headline that was like, what we think about this big, surprising Andor death. And it was a picture of, like, it was Cinta and Vel.
Sure.
And I assumed it would be.
Yeah, I just, like, none of the deaths in Andor are going to be surprising.
Yeah.
Most of these people are going to die.
Yeah.
And the only reason we know why some of them aren't going to die is because we either know them from future timelines or we know the moment of their death.
Yeah.
Like with Andor.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
you know the instant it happens.
Exactly. So that's funny. So, where do you want to start?
Where did it start?
I don't know.
You have been taking notes.
No. I took notes about The Last of Us.
Oh.
I was talking to people.
Oh.
Also, I've had a gin. Okay, so Vel is on Gorman, and then I actually really did like the veiled conversation that Luthen had with Clea, where he was like, this piece is not what we were hoping, and she was like, yeah, no shit, we already knew that, and she was like, the other piece has already been sent, and it was talking about Cassian, and then Cinta got sent to Gorman as well.
Yeah.
That was really, so that's where it started, is Luthen was picking up Cassian at the, like, port, or whatever, to take him back. And he basically, it was the same sort of as the conversation with, Caro, where he just was like, I don't think this is a good idea. Like, you do what you must, but, like, don't count me in for it. And so then when Cassian gets back to the apartment with Bix and Coruscant, she has cleaned up her mess.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really know what's wrong, but she lets slip that Luthen had come there to, like, potentially offer her something, but then not. And Cassian is incensed because he's like, he knows that you need to, like, rest.
Yeah.
And that is where we get, like, cut to the end with the two of them, because we don't really check in on them again, because we've got the big party and then the big heist.
There is one very important scene.
Okay.
Where Andor goes to the shop.
That's right.
To give a talking to. So in that moment, the most important thing I think that came out of it was that Andor kind of had described the situation to Luthen, and they kind of come to, maybe it is on the ship, but they come to the conclusion that, like, that is going to be kind of like a beacon.
Yeah.
Like it's like a hat on a hat. Like, the people want one thing to happen, the Empire wants that to happen, and then another rebel group wants that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, if a wealthy, like, popular, useful planet burns, that's a signal that no one is safe.
Sure, correct.
So, like, that will ignite more.
So what you're saying is,
planets.
like, Luthen almost doesn't care which way it goes, because either way it will be a signal.
Yeah, I think he almost would prefer it to be a signal. Like, it's one of those things where, like, we just have to let it play out how it's going to play out.
Right.
But at the same time, like, why send Vel and Cinta? Maybe Clea decided to do that without...
No, I think Luthen knew, and I think the reason to send them is because the people on the ground in Gorman don't know what they're doing.
So that they do
so
something.
That they have something, so they can at least accomplish something.
Because if they don't, then the Empire won't have, like, the spark to start the thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
The larger.
Well, so that's the thing, is, like, Luthen, I still don't think knows about the bigger Empire plot to try to force this rebellion.
If he was, like, in the know enough to think about like the effect that the Empire would have on Gorman would be negative enough that other planets, like other more well-to-do planets, would see and be like, "Oh shit, that could be us next." Then he has to have some idea.
Yeah, but it's like
He knows what they're doing is more than they're saying.
Sure, I suppose. I don't know. That's where it's like you are right. It is like a hat on a hat on a hat. Where I'm just sort of like, they know that we know that they know that we know, and it's like I don't think as many people in the middle know that anyone knows is the problem. Regardless, because Andor also was, or Cassian also was like, the Empire plants information on purpose. And the guy was like, it's reliable. And at no point was the connection made like maybe they could be planting reliable information on purpose.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing is like, because Luthen never had a conversation with somebody and was like, obviously this is what the Empire's doing.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows the overarch. I don't think he knows that the Empire wants Gorman to rebel so that they can smack them down harder. I don't think he knows that. I just think he knows that there are rebels here that are funded and on a, like you said, a popular, useful planet. And if he can get them to rebel properly, then that's just like one more brick in his wall. But I don't think he knows about the overarching Empire plan.
Yeah, maybe.
Where would he have found that out?
No. I don't. I think he knows enough about the Empire to know that, like, I don't know how to, the way that he worded it, like, if Gorman burns, it's going to burn bright. So I don't think that.
I just think that's still because of, like, the notoriety of the planet itself.
Yeah, but still, I don't, like, I think he's saying that thinking that something bigger is going to happen there than just, like, kind of a small group.
It's fine. I don't want to keep harping on it. I don't really care. I think that's making him too omniscient, but that's fine. I'll allow it. So anyway, they do make a plan. Cyril's there, like, in the mix. He's, like, around. It is going off okay. They're getting all the bins from the shipment and stuff. But then Cinta the driver, who they were like, do not leave your post. You are the only thing that cannot move and must be where you are.
Yeah.
Wanders off to help some old bitch with her groceries. And so there's no driver there. And then the guy from this guy from the previous episode, or 2 episodes ago, stumbles into the mix and is rabble rousing a little and gets shot at. There is gunplay.
Well, the one guy who was being kind of indignant in the meeting, after Vel was like, Cinta and I will be the ones with blasters, no one else.
No one else.
He has a blaster. He points it at this guy. They have a tussle because the guy has clearly been through. He's much older. He's been through. He's probably
the Tarkin thing. Probably.
Yeah. And so he was like, "I'll shove that thing up your ass, idiot."
Yeah.
And then the gun goes off and it hits Cinta.
Obviously kills Cinta dead immediately.
Yeah.
So Vel is obviously distraught.
Yeah.
And then she actually fully berates the guy, which was amazing because they are on the getaway thing and he is crying because he's killed someone, clearly wasn't necessarily intending to and has never done it before.
Yeah.
And she literally is like, you're a pussy. You're going to remember this forever.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, it was really good. This is part of my problem, like why I'm less enthused about this episode than the previous one. The whole interaction between the guy from the meeting, this guy, the Favanapoli,
not even
that guy and the kid, their goals are the same. I don't know why that got so out of hand. Like,
I don't either.
The guy in the meeting clearly was like, "What are we gonna do? Sit here on our hands and do nothing while they like build this thing in our country and like ruin our memorial and come into our landing?" He's very adamant that like they should be doing something. And then he sees people doing something. Like, why in that moment are we not trying to like bring him in? Why are we pointing a gun at him? I don't know. That whole thing didn't jive with me. That felt like they were like, we haven't figured out by episode 6 what we want to do with Cinta, so
it wasn't even that. I think That's not what it feels like to me at all. It just feels like trying to make Vel sad, because also she was like, Cinta was like, I got hurt and I told Luthen not to tell you, and then they had very tender sex, and I just like,
Yeah.
I don't, it's
that too.
Yeah.
That too. That's in the same.
So they just had to make Vel like matter, maybe more committed to like the rebellion or something.
She's pretty committed.
Yeah, already.
She's just on Gorman, like totally keen to do her job well. You know, that didn't totally fly with me.
So that whole thing is intercut with this party at Skulden's house, or not house. If that's his house, it sucks. It's also the Avengers Tower. That's exactly what it looked like.
I think it's just like someone decided that the design of
like a landing
pad on a roof, or like not on like the top, like a hospital roof,
right,
would look like that.
Yeah.
So that's
anyway,
what it looks like.
It's intercut. Mon and Perrin have been. I guess there's like 80 new senators, and it's like unusual, but they are all hosting like welcoming like parties, and so their schedule is like totally borked this year, and they don't really know how to get to everything, and they can't skip the Skulden thing.
Was the implication then that Skulden is now like involved in the Senate?
No, he's just also having a party.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think so. Maybe I didn't read it like that. So, like I said, spliced in with the heist is the stuff at the Skulden party. It's going pretty okay. Everybody's like milling around in the front. The curator lady is talking to Clea, and she's like, "You didn't tell Luthen, right?" And she's like, "Of course not," while she's drinking the blue drink.
Yeah.
And so they go into the next room, and Krennic is there, which is unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I didn't realize how much he outranks the other guy, Partagaz, by like 8 little squares.
Yeah.
Like some of them are blue also, and Partagaz only has red ones.
Yeah.
So that was fun. He's in there, so it gets a lot scarier. Lonnie and his partner are also there. The partner is getting absolutely shit hammered on whatever these like spritzers or coolers or whatever they called them were. He's like, I'm on my 3rd one. And I was like, bitch, aren't you supposed to be working? What are you doing? So Clea takes Lonnie over to the piece that has the listening device, and she's like, act like I'm telling you about this.
He's very concerned about his situation.
Well, I mean, I feel like any of them should be concerned about the situation. I feel like if Krennic noticed what was going on, everyone in the room would be dead.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like it's not like you're going to be dead only.
But she's going about her business, and he is sweating bullets.
He really, really is. And she just is like trying to tell him about it. She's like trying to get the listening device out. It's getting stuck. Her hand is bleeding. It's like super crazy and stressful. All while Mon Mothma and Krennic are having like a not veiled at all conversation about what is genocide versus like policing.
What is rebellion versus terrorism.
Yeah. So that was really like, I really liked that. It was interesting. And so obviously we do end up getting the listening device back, and everything's fine, and Clea acts like she didn't just like tear her hand to shreds. You know. That is like largely that's kind of it. The big points, those are all the big points.
Yeah. It really was just the two things, like
2 big things.
Yeah. Those were the 2 big plot points, and then there was like a really, in my opinion, like quite like rushed ending.
So somehow in between getting back from the most recent trip, although Bix did have that moment where she was like the lights blinking again, so maybe this was a sanctioned mission that they did.
I guess, maybe because the light was blinking, we just don't see them go
and get the information
and then go and execute on this thing.
So we basically see Dr. Gorst going into like this Empire building and into his office and stuff, and some crazy how Bix has infiltrated. She's in there waiting for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even get to eat his like really good looking cake. I mean, I don't want him to have like small pleasures, but he like it was like almost like the Bendel's box.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Or Mendel's from Grand Budapest. Yeah.
They did say in the previous episode when Partagaz runs into Lonnie and the other guy, when he's explaining that they want to expand, he's like, right. We are like he was like, they're clearing out another building for this to happen in.
Yeah.
So maybe they like knew that like this was like the only moment.
Yeah. Okay.
While it was kind of like in transition.
Sure.
So I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll give it to him, I guess. It really was like that.
It was
because
immediate.
we don't see any of it.
Well, and especially because like I feel like this had to get wrapped up before we jump a year again.
Yeah.
So Bix is in there waiting for him. He like doesn't remember her. He like knows she's familiar.
He says, I know you.
But he's like, how do I know you? He keeps saying, how do I know you? Yeah. And she puts the thing on him and she's like, you'll feel this. This will feel like forever. Mm-hmm. And then she just friggin' walks out while
she does cap a friggin' guard.
And she gets a guard. She kills it because he's like, what are you doing here? And she shoots him. And then she swings around and Cassian swings into the frame and clicks a clicker and the building blows up, or at least part of the building
floor. They blew that floor up where Gorse was.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yep. Cool, I guess. Yep. This is like one of two things that needed to happen with Bix. Like they needed to get her over her Gorse thing and get her back in play.
Like, is this gonna work? Is the question?
Yeah, it just couldn't. She couldn't just continue to be an anchor for like 8 more, like now 6, but 7 episodes at the beginning of this episode.
No, I totally agree. It's one of those things where I'm like, is this like baby's first Psych 101 class? It's like killing the perpetrator
it's never usually
not actually something. It's very like the commentary from Showgirls where it's like women love dress shops more than they hate rape. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
Or like what do rape victims like most? Bloody revenge. And I'm like, I mean,
yeah,
this is tough. It's like, it's a little bit of a tough sell psychologically.
It's a very like,
from like a nuanced psychological place.
Exactly. It's a very like original Star Wars nuance versus like what we've seen of the like the depth and nuance of the Andor series so far. So they were like, this is like an easy like thing that we're gonna take the out on this because we need to see Bix get better, or like we want to see Bix take a step before we make a big jump, so that she's not, because I now would expect that she's
gonna kick the drugs.
Yeah, I
maybe get another job.
Yeah, my guess, I would assume that now she's going to be more involved. Like her job will be
engineering.
It's gonna like the end of True Lies. Like they get the call together instead of a separate.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, I don't hate it either. I'm glad something happened with her, because I don't like, again, I didn't just want her to be an anchor on Andor. Now it's going to get like serious.
Yeah, hopefully.
No, it has to. Like that. They're building something that's the size of a moon. They they have to be
already in production. I tell you what, it's not the size of a moon, but they have been building I-4 since I moved here 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I know how long things take with all the bureaucracy.
Yeah. So I think we'll probably start seeing the Death Star in the next chunk.
That would be good.
Yep. And I think probably in the last chunk we'll start to see the like kind of rebellion start to coalesce a bit more.
That would be great as well. So yeah,
I think once Mon Mothma is not operating under the radar in the Senate and is being a leader to the rebellion, people will start to, now that since they'll I think she's going to be the one that they form under.
Sure.
Versus trying to like just do their own thing.
The thing for that, and then we can wrap up, my issue with that is that I kind of wish then that she was already more on the outs, because right now it's like she just can't get the votes, but it's like nobody hates her. Like nobody's suspicious, nobody doesn't like her. Like that's the thing for me, where I'm like, what is the thing that pushes her to actually move that direction, like go whole hog? Is that going to happen in the in-between? Because that sucks. I'd like to see that.
Well, we have 2 more
sets. Okay.
And one could focus more on her.
Yeah.
Like they are not obligated to use the 3 episodes to tell like a 1-week story, you know what I mean? Like they could kind of unfurl it a little bit and say like, okay, well, here's like a pivotal moment for her.
Sure.
And you know, it just they can get her there.
Yeah.
Also, like she just could make the decision like to go. Like maybe they already kind of planted the seed a little bit in this episode, because there was like a loyalty oath that they were taking in the Senate.
Yeah.
And that's a very like thing that she very clearly was uncomfortable with. She was like white knuckling it on her desk, and then she stomped out of there, I think, before it was even done.
So that's the thing, is like I just feel like she's gonna have to like, I think she's gonna leave Parent. Like, I don't think he's gonna go with her. So
Correct.
it's like, I feel like I want to see her be like, no, bye. Like, I have to do the right thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to the thing that keeps me rich.
No, I think we probably will see that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was pretty much it. Let us know what you think.
How did you feel about all three of them? Pretty
good.
Decent?
Yeah,
I felt good about them.
Yeah.
I liked that middle episode. To me was like the best one of them.
It was the most intriguing.
Yeah.
But I liked this as like a wrap up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. We'll see you next week.
Like and subscribe.
Bye.